Canelo Alvarez is doing something in the sport of boxing that no one else is doing. Who else is doing what Canelo Alvarez is doing in the sport of boxing? Who else is doing it? Who else is doing what Canelo Alvarez is doing? Nobody. Nobody. Nobody's doing what Canelo's doing. But the funny thing is, everybody want to talk up all these guys like, Jamal Charlo, Tank Davis, Demetrius Andrade. Talk about these guys like they some kind of killers, some kind of kings. Come on now. Hold on. We got an interesting comment. My brother Julio Martinez says, Nuke, I want you to sign my lady's panties. No cap. She digs you, bruh. Salute to your lady. She's a real one. Oh, man. My brother Imlo say, be careful, IBFP. You might offend these other content creators that change narratives every week. If a content creator, let me say this. If a content creator has a problem with me, if they don't like me, if they want to diss me, if they got something to say, if they say I'm fake, I'm trash, if they'll body bag me, then tell them to get their sorry ass over to the IBFP so I can body bag them live on air and make them famous. I bet you they won't do it. Everybody that's tried to debate me has come on here and their phone has mysteriously died or they've clicked off the live stream. They don't want no smoke. See, at the end of the day, these guys are worried about, hating on Canelo Alvarez. Oh, he's not this, he's not that. While they're on their knees for Jamal Charlo. They're on their knees for Tank Davis. They're on their knees from Demetrius Andrade. Come on, what are you talking about? These guys are, come on. Look, and I'm going to tell you this. I don't have nothing against no fighter. I like all fighters. I like everybody. I love boxing. That's what I do. I'm a boxing fan. I love boxing. But when these guys get on here and they want to debate, they phone die, they leave the chat, they get in their feeling, they want to go kiss a man on the lips, they daddy, they want to see a man's face, they want to fight, they want to do everything but debate facts. These guys are trash. That's what these guys are, garbage. I don't understand. Think about it. Imagine being Chris Mannix going hard for Demetrius Andrade, trying to get him a big fight. Well, Demetrius Andrade has said he's happy to go up to 168, but he still ain't did it. Demetrius Andrade could go get that David Benavidez smoke right now, but he won't do it. He could become the mandatory for Canelo, but he won't do it. That's all I'm saying. He said, you should debate BFTB boxing. He's live right now. I'm going to tell you this. Whoever that dude is, he's the B-side. Tell him to come over here and he'll get body bagged like everybody else. I don't pull no punches for nobody. They can come get this smoke. Imagine being a Demetrius Andrade fanboy. There's about 3 fans of Andrade, and these guys show up every week fanboying for this guy, talking about how great he is. Why is it Canelo Alvarez's fault Demetrius Andrade's not undisputed at 160 right now? No, it's not, because he hasn't done anything. Is it Canelo Alvarez's fault this guy is this and that? No, it's not. And no, I don't ask for money. I'm not here begging for super chats, living in my mama's basement. That's boxing ego. What are we talking about? Half of these dudes is out here begging for money while I'm trying to spread the truth. And you call me biased. And they're sitting up here on their knees for Andrade. And I don't have a problem with Andrade, but the dude is all smoke and mirror. They call him the boogeyman. Why is he not known as the ducker? The dude ran from Lotta. The dude ran from half of these fights. He dug Jamal Charlo. But you talking about people scared of him? Are you serious? Imagine being a Demetrius Andrade fanboy, holding a grown man's meat. Are you a fan that holds a grown man's meat? These guys out here defending Tank Davis like this dude's out here fighting somebody. This dude's knocking over my grandmother every week, and he's a killer. You're a killer because you fight my grandma? Salute, Steve Munoz. You want to support the channel? I got some special things coming. Stay tuned. You can always get some merch if you want to support the channel. You can come in here and like, watch the videos, share them, subscribe, all of that. And you know what? We're going to bring a special raw edition to Patreon real soon. Be on the lookout for that. Exactly. Demetrius Andrade said It Is Landy Lotta was boring, but nobody has a problem with that. Nobody has a problem with that. Nobody has a problem with that. He said he agreed to debate with you. Okay, tell him come on here and I dropped the link. See, everybody can agree to debate me until it's time to get your sorry ass on here and say what you got to say. So if you got a problem, if you want to debate, tell him to get on here and I'll drop the link right now. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. I mean, come on now. Come on now. AJ Morningstar said, will there be a Floyd Mayweather's officially garbage truck juice? Look, Floyd Mayweather, he's one of the greatest fighters in history. He's a good fighter, all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, Floyd Mayweather strategically cherry-picked his whole career. He didn't fight the best at their best. He fought for money, not legacy, not to be the best. He fought for money. He fought for money. He fought one-dimensional fighters. Come on now. Come on now. Triple G versus Morata. I think that's a good fight. It's a unification fight. I can't be mad at Triple G for a unification fight because if that was anybody else, we would keep the same energy. So I'm not going to be mad at that. I'm not going to be mad at that. I think Triple G should be able to pull that one out, but we'll see. But we'll see. I don't think Morata got anything for Triple G. Boots versus Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz and Boots. That's a hell of a fight. Both of these guys are young killers. Both of these guys are going to be great for the division. Both of these guys are really, really good fighters. I like Boots and I like Ortiz. I see both of these guys running the division. I'm leaning Ortiz by knockout right now, but Boots has to step up his level of competition because I think he's going to fight Delorme, who I believe is coming off of 2 losses. So I think he's taking a step back while Ortiz keeps pressing forward, fighting better fighters. I respect that. Both of these guys are still killers, but I got to give it to Ortiz as of right now, unless somebody shows me something different. But that's all I'm saying. Munguia versus Rosado is a hell of a fight. That's a Warriors fight. That's a fight that you would love to. That's a great fight. I'm ready for that fight. I'm pumped for that fight. Show your face. This is another man asking to see him in. Whoever this dude is created a profile just to ask me to see if he could see my face. This is the type of dude that wants his cheeks clapped. This dude wants his cheeks clapped live on air. He wants his butt cheeks bust open for everybody to see. Come on now. Come on now. Rosado can definitely do it. I mean, you know, he really got it. We'll see. So can Munguia. I mean, what kind of dude out here want to see another man? I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you guys a funny story. So my mom, she calls me on the phone not that long ago, and she tells me, "Hey, I heard one of your videos. I didn't even know she knew my videos because, you know, I didn't know she did. Somebody sent her one of my videos, and my mom was like, you're on there talking about, you know, dudes holding other man's meat and getting their cheeks clapped. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" I told my mom, I said, you know, I love you. I appreciate you. But the IBFP, this is not for you. The reason why it's not for you is because you like to kiss a man in the face. So I'll body bag my own mama if she get on here talking reckless. I don't hold back for nobody. Anybody can get the smoke. Anybody can get to. I'll body bag my grandma. She gets on here talking trash, talking about Canelo's ducking. I say, Grandma, sit your ass down. You know what the hell you talking about. I will body bag anybody. I'll body bag my grandma, my mama, my aunties, anybody. And I love my mom. I love my grandma. I love them all. But don't get on here talking crazy like you can't get body bagged. The facts are the facts for everybody. For everybody. So all of these hating channels, if you got a problem, come on here and get some of this smoke. I give out smoke for a living. That's all I do. That's all I do. I give out smoke for who wants it? And if you're one of these guys that want to see a man's profile, this ain't the channel for you, bruh. This is not the channel for you. If you want to see a man's profile picture, this is not the channel for you. I've had thousands of men ask to see my profile picture. All these guys come from the LDBC and all of these garbage channels. Go look at Ego or wherever. This ain't for you because we don't look at man's face over here. This is not what we do over here. If that's what you're into, that's fine. But this ain't the channel for it. This is not the channel for it. It's simply not. It's simply not. Anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. I see guys saying drop a link, but I don't see nobody in here calling for the smoke. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. I'm just not playing with these guys. Hold on. IBF Alexis says, yo, Nuke, who would win, Canelo Alvarez or Joe Smith Jr.? Canelo Alvarez by murder. By murder. By murder. Canelo Alvarez is a different beast, and you're going to understand that very, very soon. Now, Ego, he's a funny guy. I told you, Ego then already came out on Twitter and blocked me. Before we could even have a conversation, he blocked me. The dude is afraid. And it ain't even about, I'll fight him in a boxing match, but that's not even what it's about. Let's just debate the facts first. Let's focus, forget the actual fighting. Let's just debate the facts. See who's pushing a narrative. See who's lying. See who's asking for that. Come on now. You're right. These are the type of dudes that be asking for this next. One, you want to see my face. Then you want to see my eggplant. These guys is garbage. These guys are meat lovers. Meat lovers. Come on now. Come on now. Let's be real. Let's be real. Jorge says, yo, Nuke, Canelo versus David Benavidez. Canelo Alvarez. He's too quick, too fast. David Benavidez is a great fighter, but Canelo Alvarez is quick. He's slick. He got an iron chin. He's made to fight a guy like David Benavidez. He's made for that type of smoke. He's made for that type of smoke. Come on now. Come on now. Let's keep it going. Now, this is a great question. This is a great question. Abraham says, why are most of the other boxing channels against Canelo Alvarez? Why are most of the other? So let me tell you this. If you look around YouTube, you're going to see a bunch of channels that say Canelo's trash. He's a cherry picker. He's a ducker. He's this, he's that. All the while these guys are saying Caleb Plant is the best fighter they've ever seen. All the while saying, Tank Davis is the most vicious puncher in boxing. All the while saying Deontay Wilder is their king. All the while saying, Jamal Charlo is a lion. That's what they're saying. While they're hating on Canelo Alvarez, they don't like Canelo Alvarez is because he's a Mexican redhead that's running boxing right now. That's really what it is. I didn't want to ever think that people would be this racist, but they really are. You don't understand how many racist comments I get in my DM over Canelo Alvarez. And I'm like, why are you DMing me hating on the man that's trying to fight everybody? Put race aside. Anybody can be great, no matter what you look like. Usyk is great. Usyk is great. He is. One of my favorite fighters of all time is Roy Jones Jr. Color and greatness does not have a color. It does not matter what you look like or where you come from. These guys are too racist. These guys are too racist. Jay, you're right. These guys want me to create an OnlyFans so they can try to get some pictures and content. These guys is trash. These guys is trash. These guys are trash. These guys are trash. That's all it is. These guys are garbage truck juice. Garbage truck juice. Come on now. We know who these guys are. We know who these guys are. They hate everything about Canelo, but they keep doing Canelo videos 24/7 on their channel. I don't get it. Because Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing. Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing. He's the only one that's really out here fighting everybody. He's the only out here doing the truth. Come on now. Canelo Alvarez is the only one out here putting in actual work. That's what I'm saying. And most people that hate Canelo are Floyd Mayweather fanboys. So I put it like this. Go on these guys' channel that don't like Canelo Alvarez and search up their channel. Search all through it and see if you won't find a couple Floyd Mayweather is a god to them videos. Then you'll say, oh, now I understand. Now I understand. Now I understand. Now I understand. Come on now. We know. We know. We know. We know. Mr. Mexican Boss, why don't you let us see your face? Another dude want his cheeks clapped. How many dudes want their cheeks clapped? I mean, come on. This dude wants to see a man's face. This is garbage. These guys is trash. These guys is trash. These guys is trash. Who do you think is getting trainer of the year? Canelo Alvarez beats Caleb Plant. There's not a doubt, not a thought that it's Eddie Reynoso. It's Eddie Reynoso, period. When Canelo beats Caleb Plant, it's Eddie Reynoso. It's not a doubt. It's not a question. It's obvious. Canelo Alvarez, Eddie Reynoso, Team Canelo, that's the trainer of the year. That's the trainer of the year. That's the trainer of the year. We understand. We understand. Somebody on here. Hold on. Because you know what I do? Every time I drop a link and it's some kind of troll account, it's not even the real account. So if it's the real account, you need to let me know who you are. Because at the end of the day, these guys are sitting up here lying like, oh, it's them, it's this, it's who, it's what. No. These guys are capping. These guys are capping. But you know what? If you want it that bad, I'll give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you want. And in case nobody knows, the link has been dropped. 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 See, we knew it was a troll account. Look, most of the time these guys are just talking and all of this. Ego has no bolas. He has no bolas. Most of these guys don't have any bolas. They won't step on here with me. These guys know I'll destroy them. Their nuts are on the side of a milk carton. Come on now. Come on now. Yes, I can, but it's not very good. So that's what it is. Chakur versus Valdez. I'm going to be honest with you. I got Chakur Stevenson. I had it a 50-50 fight. I had that a 50-50 fight. The problem is, I think Chakur Stevenson is too skilled right now. I'm favoring Chakur Stevenson 60-40 over Valdez. But that don't mean I don't think Valdez could put in work. I think Valdez could put in some work. Valdez has power, and he has the best trainer in boxing on his side. So that's a hell of a fight. I can see it going either way, but I'm favoring Chakur Stevenson right now. That's just me. I just think Chakur Stevenson seems to be on another level. He seems to have skills that are out of this world. Devin Haney versus Teofimo. I think Teofimo sends Devin Haney straight to hell. Not only do I think Teofimo sends Devin Haney straight to hell, I think that Tank Davis, as for all the stuff I said about Tank Davis, I think Tank Davis sends Devin Haney straight to hell. I think most of these guys send this guy straight to hell. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion. That's what I'm saying, Phone Jack. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean, look, we got to be honest with you, man. We got to be honest with you, man. Pillow hands Haney. And look, I don't mind Haney. He say he wants all the smoke. Somebody needs to oblige him. Somebody needs to fight him. Because at the end of the day, this man's chin has not truly been tested. If you think Eddie Reynoso would have a good plan, hell yeah. Eddie Reynoso is the type of coach that could maximize Oscar Valdez's strength and get the victory. That's how great of a coach Eddie Reynoso. He makes that fight close. He makes that fight winnable because he's such a great coach. That's how good he is. Oh my God. Navarrete versus Valdez. I love Navarrete. That's a hell of that could be fight of the year right there. A lot of people are going to hate on it. I think that could be fight of the year. That's how great that fight could be. Devin Haney or Jojo Diaz. I'm gonna have to go with Devin Haney. This is why I just don't think Jojo Diaz has any power to do anything to Haney. To beat Devin Haney, you got to put him to sleep. You got to hurt him. You got to wobble him. Jojo Diaz don't have it. He has pressure. He just does not have power. He just doesn't have it. I got to go with Devin Haney. Devin Haney's immensely skilled. He's young. He's fast. He's quick. You're going to have to hurt him. And Jojo Diaz simply does not have it. He doesn't have it. You're absolutely right. Canelo Alvarez is the most hated fighter in boxing. They hate him, but they love him. These guys are really fans. That's all it really is. I mean, these guys are haters. Haters. I mean, we got to be real on it. We got to be real. My brother Octavio says IBFP. Prime for prime. Roberto Duran, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Who do you think wins? I'm going to be honest with you. We will never know because Floyd does not like to fight elite fighters in their prime. He does not need to do that. He does not need to do that. Carlos says, is Ryan's career over or he just needs to get back on the grind and fight? Ryan has all the potential in the world. He has all the potential in the world. He just got to get back out here and do what he needs to do. He got to get back out here, stop talking, and just fight. And just fight. Stop talking and just fight. It's really that simple. That's all it is. IBFP, I feel Triple G beats Morata. I agree. If he does, who should he target? Andrade, Charlo, or should he go for money fight trilogy versus Canelo? I think Triple G's past the Canelo fight. I don't think he's interested in that anymore. I think Triple G is likely going to fight Andrade or Charlo or somebody like that. I mean, because he's unifying. So I think he's trying to create his own path the way he wants to do it. Porter or Bud? I'm favoring Bud Crawford. I made a prediction a long time ago when I thought this fight would have happened a while back, and I said Bud would win. But don't be surprised if Porter can pull it off. Porter is a good fighter. He could put Bud Crawford through hell and may be able to get the upset. This is a live dog in that fight. A live dog in that fight. Tim Bradley is a top Canelo hater. Somebody needs to slap his mama. Because they really stupid. They really stupid. Valdez needs to find his bolas and fight Chakur Stevenson. Oscar Sweet T. Valdez. I'm going to keep the foot on his neck. We can't show favoritism. We can't play games. That's what it is. 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 Salute to my brother Toby Barlett. Salute. 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 I appreciate you, Alex. I got you. I got you. Porter could get outskilled. It's very possible. Bud Crawford is a hell of a fighter, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit, but I do think Porter will push Crawford like nobody else has. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Stephen A. Sim says, if Canelo would have ducked Demetrius Andrade the same way, all these other guys did, everyone would have said he's scared of black fighters. Why is nobody saying Jamal Charlo scared of black fighters? Why is nobody saying Tank Davis is scared of black fighters? He's not fighting black fighters. He's not fighting Devin Haney. So why is nobody putting that narrative, but you want to put a narrative on Canelo? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make sense to me. It doesn't. It doesn't. It does not make sense. Hold on. We got more. I mean, look, a lot of these guys are just race-based and just picking favorites. Al Sharpton's Boxing Fat Cheeseburger Nation says Lomachenko or Richard Comey. I got to go with Vasil Lomachenko. Lomachenko's a monster still. I think Lomachenko still has the potential to beat anybody in the division. He's that damn good. He's going to be a problem for anybody. And I respect his skill set, his IQ. Lomachenko is a problem. He's a problem. Now, Frank J says, why doesn't David Benavidez call out Andrade and the Charlos? David Benavidez fights at 168 pounds. He's in line for the big fights. He's in the weight class he needs to be for big fights. He's not crying that he's being ducked and avoided. He's saying he needs to earn a Canelo fight. It's Andrade and Charlo who are screaming all these different things. They need to move up in weight and fight Benavidez and prove they really want that smoke. Get a resume. Stop fighting cab drivers. Stop trying to fight my grandma. Come on now. Come on now. Teofimo Lopez sends Tank Davis straight to hell. He sends Tank Davis straight to hell. And that's nothing else. He sends him straight to hell. If we being honest, he sends him straight to hell. And you know what? I would love to see the fight, but that's the reason why Floyd Mayweather, Floyd pulled hair off of his ass and put it on his face. Now you see he got a beard. Man never had a beard his whole life. He pulled hair off his ass and put it on his face. That's the weirdest thing in the world to me. Anyway, yes, that's why Mayweather Promotions won't line him up with Teofimo, because they know Teofimo will send this boy to hell and Tank Davis' career. This man will be twerking like Deontay Wilder after that. They will never risk that against him. They will never do that. Chakur looks sharp. Hell yeah, he did. Chakur Stevenson is an absolute beast. I got a lot of love for Chakur Stevenson. Andre Ward come back to fight Canelo in the future? Hell no. Andre Ward, he could have fought Canelo a long time ago. He chose not to. Andre Ward talks all his trash, but he can never find his nuts when you need him. That's what I'm saying. He can never find his nuts. But you're always talking all this trash. Andre Ward, shut the hell up until you find your bowlers, because at the end of the day, this guy is talking nonsense. Nonsense. Chakur Stevenson is a beast. And as of right now, the only thing I'm going to say is he's a beast. He's growing, but I think it's too soon for the Lomachenko fight. I think it's too soon for the Lomachenko fight. I think Lomachenko's too much. Lomachenko is taking guys out, and he's not a big power puncher. That's how skilled he is. No, not an ass beard. Floyd Mayweather has never had a beard. He's never been a guy with a beard. He pulled hair off of his ass and put it on his face. He went and saw a surgeon who could do this, a doctor, someone who could do this. And they pulled hair off his ass and put it on his face. It is an ass beard. Salute. Look, we're going to be honest about these things. I mean, look, a lot of people don't want to hear it. A lot of people. Who should be Wilder's next fight? Wilder needs a tune-up. Wilder desperately needs a tune-up. He didn't have the GOAT crap beat out of him. The guy has been sent to hell and back. He needs a fight to build his confidence, because he has none. He has none. He has no confidence. None. Carlos says, I think Chakur Stevenson sends pillow hands to hell. Chakur Stevenson is nowhere on the same planet as Devin Haney. He's above Devin Haney. He will destroy Devin Haney. Devin Haney even look at Chakur Stevenson. He needs to turn around and slap himself for thinking he's on Chakur Stevenson's level. They are not the same type of fighter. I mean, there's even some old boxing sparring footage where it shows Chakur and Devin in the gym, and Chakur Stevenson was giving this boy that work. My brother Khaled says, IBFP, you gonna cook anybody on this live stream? Hell yeah. If anybody get on here and have a problem and got something to say, come on here and I'll give you that work. I'm free smoke for everybody. Bivol versus Beterbiev, who wins? I got Dimitri Bivol right now, but Beterbiev could win too. I mean, that's really a 50-50 fight. Really a 50-50 fight. Octavio says Ryan Garcia versus Stevenson. Stevenson is way too skilled. I'm not picking none of those guys over Stevenson unless it's Vasil Lomachenko. Jojo Diaz has the pressure to overwhelm Devin Haney. I think Haney might be too skilled, but I would never count him out, because you could also look at Jojo as, a guy who's only has one loss. He's a hell of a fighter. It's going to be hard to beat Jojo. It's going to be hard. Ryan can only sleep Chakur if he can land. If Ryan cannot land, what's power if you can't land it? So Ryan needs to keep upping his game. That's what he needs to do. Danny Garcia is just going for payday. I'm going to pick Jermell Charlo by murder. I'm picking Jermell Charlo by murder. Hrgovic or Frank Sanchez. That's a hell of a fight. I'm picking Frank Sanchez. The man is too skilled. He's too crafty, has great game plans. Frank Sanchez all day. Who should Anthony Joshua's trainer be? And, you might want to say that, I don't think any of the guys are bad that he's seen. All of these guys are good trainers he could add to his team, and all of these guys would make great trainers for him. I'm going to have to go with Eddie Reynoso because Eddie Reynoso can formulate a great game plan. Eddie Reynoso has sparring in his gym with Frank Sanchez, Andy Ruiz, and he can learn from Canelo. He has too many great boxing minds in one gym that you can learn from to pass up. That's my opinion. That's who I would go with because I think you can't get better work than that in the gym. You can't get better boxing minds than that in the gym than that Team Canelo, Eddie Reynoso's gym, period. Period. Oscar Valdez, Chakur Stevenson winner gets Loma. Thoughts, IBFP? Absolutely. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I think that should motivate Oscar Valdez. Everybody's saying that Chakur murders you. Get out there and fight him. Let's get this fight. Let's get this. Come on now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. The IBFP all day. And, I don't even want to talk about that guy. You know why? You know why I don't want to talk about this guy? Because I dropped the link. The guy never clicked the channel, then turned around, wanted to make videos. What kind of man want to make a video when you can just debate me? Stop. Fury or White? I think, I know this is going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but I think that's a 50-50 fight. I know Tyson Fury has the reach, the height, all of that, but he's, he needs to show me something against a guy that can actually box. A lot of people hate on Dillian White. I think Dillian White's underrated. That's just my opinion. Frank Sanchez would be great sparring in preparation for the Usyk rematch. That's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, look at all the amateur experience that Usyk has. Look at all the amateur experience Frank Sanchez has. Anthony Joshua's not going to get better work in the gym than Frank Sanchez. That is the perfect fight for him. That's the perfect sparring for him to prepare him for what you need. That makes perfect sense. Benavidez versus Edgar Berlanga. Benavidez murders this guy. It's not even close. He rips this guy a new asshole. He rips him a new asshole. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. Ugas or Spence. I don't know what Spence is going to look like coming back. And so I'm going to call it a 50-50 fight. Ugas is that immensely skilled. Errol Spence has a great jab. It's a hell of a fight. I'm going to call it 50-50. I'm going to call it right now because I don't know what Spence has left. I don't know what he has left. I don't. Salute, my brother. Salute. Miguel Arroyo says White just got knocked out one fight ago and then he won the rematch. This is the one thing I don't understand about people who troll heavyweights. Heavyweight boxing is a sport of knockouts. It's like and see, that's kind of also proves to you people that are casuals. In the heavyweight division, anybody can get knocked out on any day. I don't think you understand that. I don't think this is the problem with people who are casuals to the sport of boxing. Anybody can get knocked out in the heavyweight division on any given day. Period. Who should Andy Ruiz fight next? He needs to fight somebody, a top 10 fighter. No more cherry picks, no old men. Fight somebody that is going to challenge you. Fight somebody that's going to challenge you. Do you give Riley a chance against Tank? I think Riley has a puncher's chance. I think Tank's going to win that fight. Tank can win a decision. He can win a knockout. Tank is likely to go in there and just play with this guy. That's easy work for Tank Davis. That's easy work. Oh, my God. Andy Ruiz versus Joe Joyce? Oh, my God. I would pay pay-per-view for that. That's a hell of a fight. I would love to see that. Both of these guys, that would be a career-defining fight for both of these guys. Right now, that would be a great, great fight. That'll be right on so many fights. But yep, you're absolutely right. Yep. IBFP, do you have a podcast anywhere to listen to? I'm expanding the podcast where they're going to be long, so I'm going to definitely do that. Usyk versus Sanchez, I think that's a very, very close fight. I think Frank Sanchez needs some more experience. He needs more experience. For a guy like Usyk, just more heavyweight experience. I think another fight or two, he'll be ready for Usyk. I don't think he's quite ready yet. Conor Benn or Boots? Boots Ennis by murder. Boots Ennis will take this boy's head off. Take this boy head off. Will we ever see Tank Davis against a legit title holder, not just for a McDonald's belt? Let me explain to everybody something. That's a great question, Alex. Will we ever see him against a legit title? Yes, we will. He will be against a guy once, like he'll fight Lomachenko once Lomachenko shows his age, once Lomachenko slows down. But if Lomachenko is still at this top level, Tank ain't going nowhere near him. Tank is looking for an easy fight. Tank is looking for an advantage. Tank Davis does not want to fight anybody at their best. Period. Period. Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz. I got Virgil Ortiz right now. I think Virgil Ortiz's experience is going to be too much. Blair Cobb versus Conor Benn. That's a 50-50 fight. I'm not that high on either one of those guys right now. And that's what I'm saying. Give him a couple fights and then let him try to step up to that level. But we have to see what happened with Usyk and AJ in the rematch, how that plays out. We'll see. Frank Sanchez is not 29 years old. Oh, man. That is hilarious. Oh, man. Is Valdez an easy fight for Chakur? Everyone saying he has no chance. I'm going to tell you this. I'm picking Chakur Stevenson to win the fight, but it's not an easy fight. It's not a walk in the park, and it's a fight that Chakur can lose. He can get knocked out by Oscar Valdez. Did everybody forget the Miguel Berchelt fight? I think that people just look. Chakur Stevenson is a great young fighter, and I think anytime you see a fighter so young, so good, you get all these fanboy channels come out here want to hold his meat. Don't hold Shakur's meat. Just be honest. Oscar Valdez can beat Chakur Stevenson. If he lands the right shot, Eddie Reynoso puts him in a great position, he could put Chakur Stevenson to sleep. It is possible. I'm picking Chakur because I think ultimately he's too talented, too skilled, too fast to be caught by Oscar Valdez. It's all in the feet, but that's my opinion. But it is a risky fight. It's no easy fight. Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez by murder right now. Regis Prograis versus Haney. Regis Prograis by murder right now. Right now. Canelo, too quick, too fast, too strong. Fury versus Ruiz. Who wins now? Ruiz has been down on my list right now. I'm picking Tyson Fury. Canelo versus, hold on, where is it? They're not in the same weight class, but I mean, I guess because Josh Taylor's moving up, I don't think anybody kills Josh Taylor. If Josh Taylor loses a fight, it's going to be a close one. Josh Taylor ain't getting killed by nobody. Terrence Crawford, Josh Taylor. Let me see how Terrence Crawford looks after this Sean Porter fight. Then I can make a decision. I think that could be a 50-50 fight if he struggles with Porter. We have to see how good Crawford is because this is his first real test. And we don't even know if he'll beat Porter. So it's going to be interesting. Anthony Joshua at his worst is still better than Deontay Wilder. Canelo Alvarez beats Bivol right now. Did Floyd Mayweather duck Winky Wright? Hell yes, he did. Hell yes. Best footwork in the heavyweight division. That's probably, I'm going to say right now, Usyk. I'm going to give it to Usyk right now. Triple G versus Charlo. I think it's a 50-50 fight. The only reason I say that is because Triple G's old and Charlo, he's never been on Triple G's level. So because of his age, it made it an even fight. That's what it's done. Is Devin Haney a boogeyman? Hell no, he's not. I think that's the misconception. People on social media try to make it look like Jojo Diaz was afraid of Devin Haney because he signed to fight Ryan Garcia. But the truth is, Devin Haney never sent a contract. He only sent a contract after Ryan Garcia got hurt. So once Ryan Garcia got hurt, he sent a contract. How is that the boogeyman? You never even sent a contract. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense. How can you be the boogeyman? He's the booty man. He's ass. Come on now. No, but in reality, Frank Sanchez, I'm sure he's older than what he appears, but he's not old like that. He's still a prime fighter. I'm picking everybody over Deontay Wilder right now. Deontay Wilder can, and the blueprint is out there. The man sucks. He's been sent to hell. Devin Haney sent the Twitter contract. Yes, he is. Yes, sir. Jared is another beast. The king of 160. The king of 160 is Triple G if he beats Morata. Still. Do you think Brian Castano could be a problem at 160? I think so. If his skills, I think he has the skills that could potentially translate. I would love to see that. I would love to see him, but he should be undisputed right now. He should be undisputed right now. Perfect fight for Sanchez versus the winner, Sora Parker. I agree. I think that's a great step-up experience fight for Frank Sanchez. I think so. I think Virgil Ortiz just wants the experience so bad against a top champion. He's just so hungry for that. You never count a young guy out. Teofimo Lopez should have told everybody that. He should have told everybody that. Brian Castano should be undisputed at 154 pounds. That man was robbed in the daytime. I mean, that doesn't make any damn sense. That is true. King Kong Ortiz versus Sanchez. Frank Sanchez, easy. Easy. And Dragon Ball Z says IBFP is a racist and a virgin. That's not what your mama said. That's not what your mama said. Castano versus Errol Spence. That'd be a great fight. We have to see how Spence look when he comes back. We have to see how he look when he come back. We have to see how he looks when he come back. Andy Ruiz versus Ortiz. I'm going to pick Ruiz because that's a cherry pick. Luis Ortiz is too old at this point. He needs to be fighting somebody young. You know, I like that kid, Speedy Rashidi Ellis. That kid is quick. He got some skills. I like him, but I still, once again, Virgil Ortiz by murder. Somebody's going to have to change my mind. Somebody's going to have to change my mind. And look, this is absolutely right, Clark. Racists always bring up race. Think about it. I'm not accusing nobody without any evidence. If I accuse you, I have some evidence. We can roll the tape. I can go back to your comments. I have never racially picked against anyone, period. That's not who I am. That's not what I do. Period. Period. And it says, why is Ego saying Eddie Reynoso doesn't want a Chakur fight when last time I checked, Eddie was just a trainer and not Valdez's manager? It's because Ego's trying to spread propaganda from his mama's basement while he's begging for rent money. See, what he's doing is he's trying to hold Chakur Stevenson's meat. He's trying to hold another man's meat. He wants this man to clap his butt cheeks. Think about it like this. Eddie Reynoso doesn't make the decisions for, Oscar Valdez. That's not his role. But they want to make it look like Team Canelo. They're trying to bait everybody into all of this, talking trash. Look, at the end of the day, Eddie Reynoso wants these guys to fight the best. That's all it is. They're hating on Eddie Reynoso because he's the best trainer in boxing right now, period. I'm just be real. He's the best trainer in boxing, and they don't like him. That's all it is. They're just a bunch of haters. Now, I find it funny that Charlo's calling out Triple G right now, but this the same Jamaro Charlo that said he was ready to unify with Demetrius Andrade after he fought Sergey Deverenchenko and never did. This the same Jamal Charlo that said he would fight David Benavidez at 168, but then said he wouldn't fight him. This man is nothing but cap. He keeps calling out people, but fighting no one. He said he'd fight Canelo Alvarez. Canelo offered him the fight in 2019, and he turned it down. I'm tired of Jamal Charlo lying. This man is not a lion. He's a kitty cat. Come on, now this guy is weird. Weird. Absolutely. Robert Garcia. Yep. Munguia versus Rosado. That's a great fight. I think he could be 50-50. I'm leaning Munguia on that fight, though. I'm leaning Munguia, but I would never count out Rosado because that boy is strong. Is Andrade getting blackballed? Andrade blackballed himself. He can go out there and go get that David Benavidez smoke. He can go get that. He can go get that smoke, but he don't want it. He don't want it. He said he's ready for 168. Go get it. He literally is. But, you won't see all these biased channels say that, will you? Most of these guys that just kiss his ass, they'll ignore it. They'll act like none of that happened. Tevin Farmer versus Chakur. Chakur Stevenson by murder. It's not even close. It wouldn't even be fair what Chakur Stevenson would do to Tevin Farmer. It's not even fair. That would be horrible. I'll tell you what, I'll put in a line to call in so everybody can speak to the landlord. We'll set something like that up soon. I will definitely do that. I will definitely do that. Nuke, is Andrade talking about he's being ducked, but he ducked Lara for a regular champ? Exactly. He fought Jack Colclay instead of Idislandi Lara because he didn't like his style. But he's a boogeyman? Make that make sense. Chakur Stevenson, Lomachenko right now. I got to pick Lomachenko. Too much experience at this moment. Chakur Stevenson needs more experience. Experience matters in this sport. Experience matters in this sport. Absolutely. Errol Spence had already had a fight scheduled with Usyk for February, so he's ready to fight again. They're just trying to figure out what fight that will be. What fight that will be. Why Ego says David Haney knocks out Teofimo. Let me be clear with everybody. The only people that Devin Haney put to sleep are the people that watch his fights. Let me repeat that one more time. The only people Devin Haney put to sleep are the people that watch his fights. This man ain't knocking out nobody. Let's be 100% clear with that. He ain't knocking out nothing. Navarrete versus Chakur, that is a great fight. I really don't know. That pressure, that power, that speed, that's going to be a lot. I would love to see Chakur Stevenson deal with that. I would love to see that. I would love to see that fight. I don't have any thoughts on that fight right now. I just need to see it. I just need to see it. I really just need to see that because that would be great. That would be excellent. 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 I mean, is Lomachenko being underrated? Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Vasyl Lomachenko is being underrated. I mean, right now, because, and you know, people are not looking at him, not giving him a chance. Why does the LDBC think being a pure boxer, you can't lose? Look, the LDBC is a group of racist fanboys. So they're always going to pick with their heart instead of their head. Make that make sense. Chakur Stevenson, he beats Gary Russell all day and night. It's my opinion. Dimitri Bivol versus Zurdo Ramirez. I think that fight could go either way. I think Ramirez is dangerous for Bivol, and Bivol is in no rush to fight Ramirez. I think that would be a great fight for both guys. I think that could be 50-50 as well. I don't think that's a blowout either way. I think that's a hell of a fight. A hell of a fight. Let's see what else we got. If Chakur comes to 135, who do you think comes out on top? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. If Chakur comes to 135, you can't forget Lomachenko. So it's going to be Lomachenko, Teofimo, or Chakur right now, in my opinion. Those are my final three. I don't know who's going to come out on top. I would lean Loma or Teofimo. But, you know, Chakur definitely has a chance. He definitely has a chance. I mean, look at these guys, you know, kissing up to Devin Haney. My brother, the people's eyebrows. Devin Haney's bragging on followers instead of belts. Bragging on followers instead of accomplishment. And this is your king? This is your king? Come on now. Absolutely. Anui is a pound for pound fighter, moving up weight class, has pop. The kid is a problem. Is a problem. Oh man. Hold on. I got one that we got right here. That seems very interesting. Hector says, Nuke, can you please address this about Canelo supposedly changing course and purse bid when the IBF denied the request to fight Andrade at 160 for the belt? So Canelo Alvarez tried to fight Andrade for the belt at 160 and they denied his request. Sergey Derevyanchenko priced himself out. He took less money to fight Triple G than what he was asking to fight Canelo Alvarez. He ducked Canelo, ruined everything. That's pretty much what happened. Clarissa Shields said Canelo ducked the unification with Andrade at 160. Doesn't make sense. He tried to make the fight. The IBF wouldn't allow it. It's as simple as that. How can you unify if they won't even allow the fight to happen? And he offered to fight. Clarissa Shields is also racially biased. I don't know if you've noticed. Every fighter, everything she picks is always one way. You got to be able to pick up on the trends of some of these people. They're not fair. They're not unbiased. They're not objective. These people are just racially biased, picking who they want because they look like them. I don't like people like that. I like you to be fair with everybody, whether it hurts or not. Just be real about what you think is going on. Be honest about it. You know, just be honest. To me, I think Roy Jones Jr. might be my favorite all-time fighter. And I think that Roy Jones Jr. in his prime was unbeatable. I mean, the man was a monster. And Canelo Alvarez is looking unbeatable right now. So that would be the best fight that I think I could ever dream of making right there. I would love to see prime Canelo versus prime Roy. Hell of a fight. Now, you know, a lot of racist fans would say Canelo have no chance because that's what they always say. When you compare Canelo with anybody, it's all Canelo sucks. Canelo's this, Canelo's that. Champ side keeps saying that Canelo duck is mandatory. Charlo, please body bag him. Hold on. I want to say one thing about Champ side. So I'm probably about last year, Champ side used to follow me on Twitter. He used to always follow me on Twitter. Champ side. I call him Chump side now. He used to always follow me on Twitter. He was acting like he was my friend and everything. And one day he just blocked me and all of this stuff. And so I was like, oh, that's odd. I don't really know the guy like that. And, you know, coming out all this Canelo hate. At the end of the day, these guys are just fanboys or racists. And that's all it is. Because I don't know how you pumping up Charlo for fighting Palateros, but you can't respect Canelo Alvarez for fighting the best. Make it make sense. Now, first of all, Canelo Alvarez, let me get this to everybody's head that think he ducked Jamal Charlo as far as his mandatory. Jamal Charlo and Canelo Alvarez fight was never mandated by the WBC. That fight was never mandated. He was in line and is his mandatory, but it was never mandated. These guys do not understand that. The WBC never mandated the fight. And you know what's funny? This narrative was also killed when Canelo Alvarez offered him the fight the very next year in 2019. Why don't Champside talk about Jamal Charlo rejecting the Canelo Alvarez fight in 2019? Somebody talk about that. Jamal Charlo rejected that fight. Come on now. Look, a lot of people start messing with me and stop messing with me. But you know what? The one thing they won't do is get on here and debate me. These guys are a bunch of cowards, act like females. They wear panties. I mean, these guys is garbage truck juice. These are the type of dudes that want to see a man's face. They kiss their daddy on the lips. I mean, come on. These guys is nasty. I mean, look, and Charlo versus Jacobs. That's another fight that Charlo ducked. You know, Charlo could have fought Danny Jacobs in his last fight, but he chose to fight a Palatero. So why are you fighting Palateros instead of Danny Jacobs? Explain that. Explain that. It's like we're never going to get any of these fights because this guy's too much of a coward to step in the ring with anybody. He's trying to protect that damn O. That's all he's doing. I will body bag all of these fanboys. This is easy work. Easy work. Come on, man. These guys really disappoint me. These really disappoint me. Could you see Canelo going to cruiserweight, become the first Mexican cruiserweight champion? I don't advise it. That's just too big of a jump for Canelo Alvarez. He's a hell of a fighter, maybe the best fighter of this era. And he does not need to risk that. That doesn't make sense. That we have weight class for a reason. That might be going too much. That might be going too hard. And you know, I've heard a lot of people say that I stole the name Fanboy Killer. I didn't steal the name from nobody, dumbass. This is how I got the name the Fanboy Killer. All of my fans called me the Fanboy Killer. Everybody that comes on here started calling me the Fanboy Killer. So what did I say? I guess I'm the Fanboy Killer. I don't name me. You don't get a nickname by making it up, stupid. People give it to you. These guys are morons. Ruiz or Usyk? Usyk. Ruiz has shown me nothing that he can beat Oslander Usyk. Canelo versus Archer better be of Canelo Alvarez all day and tomorrow. Ego talking crazy says Canelo ducking Andrade again. How you ducking somebody that's not in your weight class? Somebody please remind begging boxing Ego that Canelo Alvarez fights at 168 pounds and Demetrius Andrade fights at 160. Was it Eddie Hearn who said Canelo Alvarez would never duck Demetrius Andrade? His own promoter? Make it make sense. You're absolutely right. Mikey Garcia needs to drop the tacos. He needs to put the tortillas down, the Coke. I mean, Mikey, stop. Chips and queso Garcia. This guy is garbage truck juice. Garbage truck juice. Come on now. Why do people bring up Floyd whenever Canelo does something amazing? Because they think that Floyd Mayweather being an inexperienced 23-year-old Canelo Alvarez is the greatest thing they've ever seen. In other terms, they mean they love Floyd Mayweather. They're Floyd fanboys. They love Floyd. They would kiss his ass if they could. They would kiss his asshole clean if they could. But unfortunately, that's what happened. You know, this man don't want none of that smoke with the IBFP. Let's not even play that. I got Devin Haney beating Jojo Diaz, but that's Jojo's a live dog in that fight. Talk to me. Mikey Garcia. Mikey, give me 4 tacos, Garcia. Thurman won't take the fight. Thurman will not take the fight. Thurman will not take. I don't understand. Like, we live in an age where these guys won't take the fight. The only person taking all the fights is Canelo and Anthony Joshua. Those are the only 2 fighters that's fighting everybody, no matter who it is. These are the only 2 guys that are fighting everybody, period. That's it. Nobody else is fighting anybody outside for them. They're fighting everybody. Everybody. These guys are Floyd Mayweather ass lovers. I mean, anybody that hates Canelo Alvarez, go to their channel, look through their videos, and I bet you find some, oh, I love Floyd Mayweather this, Floyd Mayweather's that. You know, these guys are all Floyd lovers. That's where the Canelo hate comes from. I challenge you, if anybody's hating on Canelo Alvarez, go to their channel, look at it, and say, oh, yep, that's it. Absolutely. If Canelo goes to 175, I think he cleans out another division, goes undisputed in 2 divisions back to back. That's my personal opinion. I believe he can do it. Tell Dante to get his big ass on here, and we'll get it in. I'll debate him and body bag him on live. I'll go to his channel. He'll come to mine. Tell him I'm open for the smoke with Dante. Here's the thing about Dante. Dante needs to stop coming on here, talking trash, making up lies, looking like he's about to breastfeed. Who should Regis Prograis fight next? You know, that's unfortunate for Regis. I don't know who's available for him to fight at this point. Josh Taylor's not available. Devin Haney's not moving up. So, I mean, it's a tough spot for him. He might have to fight somebody that's available. I mean, Jose Ramirez, if he's available. Yes, I will be doing more podcasts all the time. I'm going to go live every now and then. I'm going to go live more by popular demand. I will body bag the hating channels, the bias channels, the fanboy channels. That's what I'm going to do. That's why we call Dante's Fried Rice Nation. Dante's big fat ass fried rice nation. I can admire that from Spence if he don't want to tune up. I can admire that. White versus Usyk. Usyk is skilled as hell. He's an elite fighter, undisputed. I mean, won the World Boxing Super Series. You cannot hate that. You cannot hate that. You cannot hate that. I'll tell you what, I'll activate the super chats by popular demand. This is not me wanting to do it. This is people asking me. I think AJ should go to Eddie Reynoso. I think he's not going to be able to get better sparring than Frank Sanchez for a guy that thinks like Usyk, that's fast like Usyk, that has the experience like Usyk. I think that makes sense. What other boxing channels do you recommend? I don't know. I'm going to tell you this. There's too many boxing channels that are sketchy. Too many. And so only thing I'm going to say is, you have to go on your own. You have to figure it out on your own, because, I can't endorse most of these guys. Most of these guys are fanboys, meat lovers, bias. I mean, all of these type of things. So I got to be real about it. That's all it is. That's all it is. I mean, it just depends if you believe what the WBC says or what Twitter says. That's what that means. Men lie, women lie, the facts don't lie.